Today I'm going to show you some of my favorite stretches for the lats. Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Blake Bowman here with Gorilla Zen Fitness, and in today's video I'm going to be going over some of my favorite lat stretches. To begin, the lats are tight in most people in the general population, as well as in people that lift weights, especially people that do pull-ups and rows and other exercises similar to those. The lats are actually internal rotators of the humerus, okay? So that's one of their roles. Another one of their roles, and where they attach, is not really a role, but they attach on the lower back and at the back of the iliac crest. So when they become tight, they can pull up on the back of the pelvis and cause what's known as an anterior pelvic tilt. Tight lats can cause that in conjunction with this gorilla arm type of internally rotated posture. Now both of these things, having internally rotated arms or an anterior tilting of the pelvis, are things that you should work on if you have them, and by stretching and elongating the lats, you're going to be moving yourself in the direction of fixing those things. Now before I get into the stretches that I'm going to show you for the lats, first we're going to foam roll the lats. So you're just going to start with your foam roller on the ground. You're going to outstretch your arm and get right on those lat muscle fibers. Roll back and forth here up high near the armpit for about 12 rolls back and forth, and then kind of twist your body so you're oriented a little bit more towards the ceiling and you're getting that space on your back right underneath the shoulder blade. Do that for another 12 rolls and then get the other side. While you do this, make sure to avoid your floating ribs way down low. Okay, don't roll all the way down here, stay up here. You can easily hurt these ribs. After you've done about 30 seconds on each side, now you're ready to get into the stretching. Before I show you this stretch, it's important to know the muscular attachment sites of the lats, as it is with any muscle, in order for you to stretch it in the most optimal way, okay? Because really all you have to do is identify the 2 points where the muscle attaches and then create as much distance between those points as possible, and as a result of that, that muscle in between them is going to be stretching, right? So the lats actually attach up here at the shoulder as well as down here on the lumbar spine and at the back of the iliac crest, okay? So any stretch, you guys can kind of get creative with this, but any stretch that you're going to do for the lats, you have to create as much distance between your shoulder and the lower back and that hip. Okay, so this first one that I'm going to show you, you can do it on any piece of equipment that's approximately the same height as your hips. It could be a bed, it could be a bench, it could even be a column like this to hold on to. It doesn't really matter. But what you're going to do is you're going to get in kind of a wide stance. You're going to hinge from the hips like a door hinge. Extend your arm out in front of you. Put your arm on this thing. I like to kind of reach across the body a little bit. Okay, and then you sink down like this, and you'll start to feel that lat come under stretch. And then from here, try to really sink down, move away from it, and then here, you can even slightly posteriorly tilt your pelvis. Okay, it looks weird. You're actually tucking your lower back underneath, but again, the lats attach over here. So by tucking the pelvis underneath, you're actually pulling on the lat muscle fibers even more and elongating the tissues there even more. So it's okay to do that during this exercise. But basically, arm out, hinge from the hips, sink away, let your chest drop down. You can even tuck that lower back underneath you, posteriorly tilt the pelvis. At this point, you should really feel an intense stretch on the lats. And what you can do with this stretch, as well as the one that I'm going to show you in a second, to get a little bit more extra oomph out of it, to get more release, you can turn it into a contract and relax stretch. So basically, when your arm is in this outstretched position, you're going to activate the lat by kind of pulling down. You're going to kind of actually be pushing down at an angle like this, okay, to activate the lat. You hold that contraction for 3 seconds while the muscle is fully stretched, and then you release, you relax, and you sink into a deeper range of motion. It'll look something like this. It's not going to look much different, but right now I'm pulling and pushing down with that arm, and now I'm going to release it, sink a little bit deeper, shift my weight a little bit more towards that side. Push it down, contract, release, sink a little bit more, a little bit further down to stretch that muscle a little bit further. So my second favorite way to stretch the lats, maybe this might even be my first, is in an overhead position, okay? So again, it's important to keep in mind those muscular attachment sites of the lats, right? They're up here at the shoulder, they're down here at the hip and that region of the lower back, creating as much distance between those two points is going to produce the greatest amount of stretch on that muscle. So I'm going to demonstrate on my stretching my lat on my left side with this. Okay, so arm goes overhead. What you're going to do is you're going to take the leg on the same side as the lat that you're stretching, and you're going to step it across your body. What this does is it drops that hip down. Again, that's going to create more distance. So you step it across to the other side, and you lean in to the stretch on this side. Okay, really just trying to create as much space between the shoulder and that hip as possible. Okay, here, just like on the last one, we can create that contract and relax. Pull down, activating these tissues, and then relax. Let it sink deeper. Working on taking big breaths the entire time here. Pull down, contract, release, sink it to a deeper range of motion. And if you're doing this on the other side, same thing. Step the opposite direction, sink into it here. With both of these stretches, always incorporate the contract and relax, and also search around for different angles, right? You might feel a greater stretch in the lats, like leaning forward like this, than you do like leaning back at an angle. So kind of look for those nooks and crannies yourself, and everybody's different. You're going to have tightness in different muscle fibers than other people will have. So if you modify a little bit, kind of move around, try to find those sticky areas, and if you do find one, you feel a deep stretch there, then stay there. There you have it. Make sure you perform each one of those stretches for a minimum of 30 seconds all the way up to a minute in order to get the maximum benefit from the stretch. These are great stretches to use interset, meaning in between sets when you're doing chest or if you're training back, to help maintain the appropriate length in these muscles and maintain good posture. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have and you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then make sure you go ahead and do that right over here. Also, on that same note, if you haven't yet downloaded my ebook, Posture, the Ultimate Life Hack, make sure you pick a copy of that up for yourself. You can do that over here as well, right above the link for the subscribe button. On a concluding note here, if you're somebody that's been kind of struggling with your own imbalances and you just don't really know what direction to take with them, or if you're somebody that's like been bounced back and forth between doctors, chiropractors, physical therapists, massage therapists, you've seen all these people and you haven't really had any results that you're happy with, then check out my coaching page. You can do so over here. Hit the apply button and I'll get back to you. On one final concluding note, my all-inclusive strength training program, Intelligent Strength, it's officially going to be dropping the first week in October. So again, I don't want to give too many details about it away just yet. However, it is a strength course that I've put it together specifically for people that have muscular imbalances, postural issues, and injuries. Okay, so I'm gonna be telling you guys more as the weeks unfold here, as we get closer to October. But if you haven't yet been aware of this program, like I said, I'm launching it that first week in October, and I'm really excited about it. Other than that, I'll see you next time.